So hello everybody and welcome to this tutorial. Today I will open up a new chapter on how to stay anonymous, or we can say Tor part 1. So there are several ways, several methods to get anonymous, and first of all you probably heard about things such as proxies. So you are just routing your connection through several different points, although this can be very slow depending on your speed of your proxies. So elsewhere, and you also don't know nothing about your other sites, and you also don't know about the servers through which your packets are going or transferring. So that can be risky somewhere. But again, if you're just scanning something, if you are just using nmap to footprint a network, why do you care? It's not importance. However, it is if you are using proxies to log in somewhere or to some pass some credentials or something like kind, that is potentially dangerous, and you should do not do that. Literally, I mean quite literally, you shouldn't do it all. And other option is to use some sort of VPNs and to encrypt your traffic between you and the service VPN service provider. So these things can be very fast depending on which one do you have. So you can just pay for these services, such as a yearly subscription can be like 1000 or 10,000 something rupees, and monthly subscription like hundreds or 200 something, depending on which company's VPN do you own. So you get a dedicated VPN static IP address, so you can do lot of stuffs there, and that can be very fast. Furthermore, your traffic is encrypted, as I said, and that is only the way that somebody can figure out that you are doing something elsewhere. If it is the VPN service provider actually explore, or we can say it exports your information. However, this does not happen often. This is very difficult to attain, especially if you get a VPN in certain part of world, so like another country or something, where they just generally don't use this sort of information out. Like there are some countries who doesn't shares the information related to internet or some servers. Like we can give the info, like China doesn't share a lot of information with India. So you can do like that, but I wouldn't recommend to doing that for a white hat hacking, because uh, s- stealing some information or giving problem to another person is black hat hacking. So I generally doesn't support that. So primarily, because I isn't need to stay anonymous to that extent, what we are going to do, be just using a VPN and proxies mainly for, or what they are mainly used for in the world today. I would say anyway, this is just my personal opinion. It to bypass firewall settings or firewall limitation. Should I say so? Here's a real life example that people are using pretty much on a daily basis, like Netflix or Disney Hotstar, for example, has a certain range of IP address from which it allows connection. So if you are elsewhere in the world and you do not belong to that IP address range, it will not allow you to view anything on that site. Suppose TikTok is banned in India, and India doesn't just uh, allow the IP address of TikTok's server in India, so we can't use the TikTok app, or we can say their sites also, same as CapCut. The CapCut site is also not uh, we can say we can see that site, or we can search that site. We have to just use a VPN app or something to just access that apps and that sites. However, if you use a proxy, good one, if you are use a VPN, you will able to access the site through you are coming from the country which falls within the IP address of that IP address range lists. So That's just one of the common examples of what people have been doing. It's not exactly harmful or something like that. You're not taking servers down or anything kind of that, but people have been using it in order to able to watch Netflix and TikToks, I don't know, from a cell phone when they are traveling or something like that. In any case, there are some numerous other example when you want to bypass a certain firewall settings. Primarily, you bypass the IP range list which are allowed to access certain servers or something like that. Also, for example, if you had a certain servers, those traffic is mainly generated from a single area, from a single country, and you don't want to be, for example, scanning it from an IP address that belongs to the area in China or something like that, because those IP address looks very different. I mean, of course, they are within the same, but any network administrator, as soon as they see that IP of that kind that is far away from their geographical area, they will know that it is some anonymously or anon of some sort of that doesn't belongs to their, and they will just they will start looking at that IP and just track the IP. So that is not something you want happening to you, and you want to be accessing the server from where all the others are using are accessing from it, in order to hide yourself in the mass. In any case, that is what we should be doing in this chapter, and few other things, but for this time begins for this tutorial, I want to show you how you can actually access the dark web or the hidden web, whichever you wish or refer to it. So now there are some rumors that dark web is longer or bigger than the regular internet. There's a lot of information there, and there are some secret resources. A lot of people do that, and there are some very nice forms where you can get a lot of good stuffs. And so I will definitely recommend trying it out, and at the some point of in time you will need it for that, and you will need to install Tor browser for it. And with Tor browser you will able to access the darknet, and now it is installed by default on Kali. And this is one of the those rare occasions and rare situation where we will actually need a different user other than root, like normal account we can say, in order to able to do anything with Tor, in order to able to restart it. So first of all, I'm going to go ahead and create a new user. So just open up a virtual machine, and you see in mine is already open here. I'm changing the size of it. You can see it, it's a virtual machine, and I have my terminal running up here, and I can close it and reopen it. So there you go. Just open up regular terminal and type in the following. So first of we need Tor. So I will explain what Tor is in the moment, but for you just type in the apt hyphen get install Tor hyphen y and press enter. uh, Within this command I am highlighting at the moment the Tor is going currently installing in my system, because I had newly just installed the Kali in this machine. So the Tor has been newly installed here. It's newly version. So just type in the command. You will not be prompted for any other question, because the hyphen y argument, and the installation will go through no problems with the command hyphen y ahead of that. So let me just go ahead and clear the screen. Now the next thing is that we need to do is actually create that user that I have been talking about. So just go ahead and type in the command add user, and just a keynote here. There was also command user add, but don't do this command for this time, because I have discovered that it causes some unnecessary complications which tends to hidden us along the way. Just go ahead and type add user. Now you can name your user whatever you want, and you cannot use capital letters if I remember correctly. That is the rule in Debian system. So I'm just going to call my user as a icon, and my user will be test, um, and there we go. And it says adding user testing, adding new group test, and adding new user test, and adding new user test with the group test. And that's pretty much as what has happened here. It created a home directory for that user. It already existed. Letting you know, I have created it previously, but I have deleted it for just now, and just to make sure that there are no mistakes in this tutorial. But it doesn't matter. Um, it will say that say here that the home test directory has been created, and that you will be able to use it. You just don't need to do this for folder, primarily because we are going to be doing stuffs here, and which you cannot do with the root directory. Just go ahead and type in the your password here. It doesn't show anything when you type. That's the standard way of Unix password, in order to prevent anybody from seeing the length of the password on the screen. But it's very nice. And so press enter. You can so now you are prompted here for some information in regard to that user, completely irrelevant for our purpose today. So we do not want to type in full name, or room number, or work phone, or home phone other. Just I will type anything like 1234 and 3241, anything, I don't care. Is this information correct? Why not? Sure. And press enter, and there we go. We have just effectively created a new user icon, to which we need to log, and then from there conduct our work. And now the key thing is to note here, that is, even through there is the way of configuring the Tor browser to run as root. It's not simple, but it's not there is a way to create it very easily, or to do it easily. And do not do that. I mean, it's not even good idea to browse the internet as a root user. If you pick any sort of viruses up, and any sort of malicious code is going to be run as a root, so you don't want to do that on your system. This is a virtual machine, or I don't care if it's a virtual machine, because this is primary SSD of mine, so I don't care if it gets hurts. um, I doesn't really cares for it. So so if you do not want to compromise it in such way, and generally on the machine that you are performing these tasks, like this is the, we can say, I don't care this machine, so I can do these things on this machine. So if you don't really use it to browse the internet or the sake of some examples, sometimes I sometimes open the browser like Firefox basically, and do some stuff there, and just to show you the information, or you have been seen now. I have downloaded some specific site, or actually not now, but in a few moments I will download some from something, some from specific site, or from Tor browser. So um, you can just hurt the your machine, because it's root. The virus has the access to do changes in your root directory or your root machine. So that's a bad idea. However, we will mainly use their users for our Tor browser. So otherwise, I will be talking using the root user, primarily because you can do pretty much anything in Kali without the root user. All the tools requires these sorts of root permissions like Metasploit and that all other things, as they do tend to access network related things such as. Anyway, I'll cut this tutorial here and I'll see you in the next part of it, like Tor part 2. So till that, take care and bye.